let's listen to some of NUMI'S vocal situation just because I want to see if I can actually help. Which I don't know if I can, but we'll see.
Your voice kind of raspy. Okay, I'm chilling. Um, I guess since it's a new year and it's a new me, maybe I should talk a little bit about that again. There's like the same general amount of people that come by the streams, but I know there's a lot of new people that come in and they're like, "Are you sick? Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" I have a very weak voice because in 2021 to 2022, I went too crazy and I permanently damaged my vocal cords. And that's why I normally can't stream longer than 4 hours a day. And I usually have to spread out my streams because if I don't, my voice will be as bad as it was in 2022, where almost every single day I could barely sing and speak.
Oops.
Thank you.
Not at all.
It's a lot. I've learned how to do a lot better with it nowadays, but before, dudes, if you guys are like one of the more recent Noombas, anytime I went to a convention or I went outside or just did anything, my voice would just be gone for days. Oh my god, those days were ass. Yeah, and then that was in 2021, I believe, when I went to the doctor about it and said, why does my voice die so quickly? And he said, have you considered any other careers? And then I looked at him and I said, no, this is all I have.
Is it really hard to damage your voice? No, it's not really hard to permanently damage your voice. This is why I gave a huge lecture to Baji on Toad, on singing Toad. When people use their voice all the time, and they have to speak over lots of like people in a crowd, say for example at a convention, or they're on tour and they're singing a lot, that usage is a lot. If your usage is inefficient, you can get vocal nodules. If you are shouting over crowds and you're doing so in an inefficient way, you are at risk for what's called a vocal hemorrhage. I'm willing to bet that's closer to what NUMI experienced. It is wildly inappropriate for me to assert anything like that. But given what I'm hearing, nodules are callous. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Twitch chat isn't showing. I don't know why. But nodules are callous. So if you play guitar a lot, if you use your hands for work, dead skin builds up and creates a callus. Nodules do that. Nodules are kind of like what Mariah Carey had. She had a few of them. Yeah, there's absolutely a way to be loud in a healthy way. So like that's what belting usually is. So like Italian fishmongers can be in the market for the entire day. So no, your body doesn't tell you when it's hurting your vocal folds because your vocal folds have no nerve endings. So you can't know. When you're fatigued, you can't know if it's raw, you can't know if it's tired. So there are different signs that you can use. So when you have nodules, if you sing up and down, if your pitch splits on a note, what that is that your vocal folds are adducting in such a way that the callus is splitting the vocal folds, and so you're getting like two notes at the same time. That's one way. The nodules are usually it takes a while before they get to that point. Someone as ambitious as NUMI would probably, if they have like swollen folds. So swollen vocal folds are something I've come on stream with a few times. Like if I'm doing a lot of crash up voice, or I've done a lot of singing, the next day my voice will be like a little lower, right? Those are swollen vocal folds. So you just need to take a little bit of a break and chill out, and the swelling will reduce. But while they are swollen, their surface area is uneven, and so callus will build up more quickly. And they won't close that well. So, but a vocal hemorrhage is sudden. There's no buildup. You can be prone to it at certain points, but if you use your voice a lot, if you're tired, posture is a big part of this, right? How much air are you using? Are you so a lot of people when they shout over a crowd, they're using a technique very similar to belt. Belting is the #1 cause of vocal injury. By the way, #2 is opera singing, and it's worth noting that #2 is a bunch of trained singers. So like opera is very taxing, and this because I'm just saying this, I'm outlining this because there's a lot of stigma against belting. But you can have proper usage. But belting is still kind of an extreme thing to do with the voice. And if you're shouting over crowds and stuff, that can happen. If your set list is very challenging and you're on tour a lot, it's happened like with Mariah, right? Like Mariah was known for being, I'm concerned about this for a couple of different singers, but like if you're known for singing very challenging music, you're at risk if you're tired and stuff. So yeah. So it does not surprise me that someone who uses their voice all the time, who was put in very difficult situations and might not have had a lot of help on how to use their voice, ended up in a situation where they got damage. It's not an abnormal scenario. No judgment. It will be harder to sing when you get a nodule. Swollen folds are signs. Throat closure might be harder. Falsetto might be gone. Yeah, but still people don't know. Like, it's... So, a lot of times, like... I think my biggest qualm... It's really hard to self-teach yourself a lot of this stuff. Like, one of the reasons behind my channel getting so technical and granular is that, I learned a lot of stuff online. I had to really get professional help. I was the anti-talent, right? I talk about this a lot. I had to learn everything. So, how many times have we come in, Des, when I have a student and they have different tension for the day, right? Their body's doing different things that day, and I have to address that tension. It's a new thing for them, right? So is it swollen vocal folds, or is it like, did you sleep wrong, right? Because some of the problems you outlined with like, chord closure or hoarseness or falsetto being difficult, like that can be a symptom of another thing. And a lot of information doesn't exist, So the free voice lessons are a great way of getting this kind of like a lot of context. And it's the kind of content I would have wanted to have access to when I was learning. Yeah, phonia is challenging. Let's continue with where NUMI'S at.
Oh no. Get well soon. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I remember that. Like, get us other solutions, man. I guess it's just rest. That's the only way that I've found to prove it. People are always like, have some tea.
No.
Have you tried honey?
No.
They think I've been on this planet for this long and I haven't tried other methods. Like, guys, no.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It doesn't work.
You guys tried tea?
So what is tea going to do? So it's going to relax the muscles around your throat because it's warm. It's like a heating pad, but it doesn't fix vocal fatigue. And maybe we can help a little bit with swollen folds. And like honey doesn't do anything either. You like maybe dairy, you can have more mucosal lining. But like she's right. More efficient usage and just rest. Don't use them. Period. Like, yeah, that is aggravating.
Honey, have you tried a throat lozenge? Have you tried?
And no,
Yeah.
by the way, no. Don't use throat lozenges because depending on the ones you use, you might actually reduce your mucosal lining. And that actually will make it worse. And some of them even thin your folds because they affect your blood. And if you have blood thinners, your folds are even thinner, which makes them even more vulnerable. So like, no to throat lozenges. Don't do them. They make you feel better, but they don't actually do anything.
What works is water and rest, and because of that, I stream 3 to 4 days a week for around 4 hours is my max before my voice starts to die. Hi. Have I?
So, Agent, yeah, if your vocal folds have nerve endings, how do you can tell you need to rest them? You go through some diagnostic things. This is why warming up is important, because warming up tells you what are your problems for the day. And if you warm up consistently, you have a good reference point for where you are at. And if you work with somebody, or you can figure it out, which is hard to do, but like if you can have this relationship with cause and effect, move your body this way, do this thing with your voice, there's this effect, right? And if you're really good at like diagnosing your own problems, which is why I try to teach students how to help themselves so they don't need me anymore, you can kind of figure out like, am I doing everything right? What are the quality? Spectrograms are great. You can really tell a lot about it if you have swollen vocal folds if you're using a spectrogram a lot during your warm-ups. And because eventually you'll have swollen folds, like they're quite common. It's not a big deal. So you'll see, and you'll know it. So like it's experience, I guess, is the answer.
Tried the Peruvian shamans. That's my next.
Peruvian shamans.
Thought on what I want to do to fix my vocal cords. Yeah. One of the unfortunate things that comes with having a lot of whimsy is I'm laughing so much more, and so my voice dies a lot easier. Your voice sounds great even when it's like, guys, people like my voice better when it's fucking dead, to the point where it started to piss me off. I'm like, oh, you like it when I'm hurting. You like it when it hurts like this. Okay. They're like, I love how raspy your voice is. It's not supposed to be. It's only supposed to be a little bit. It's only supposed to be like that a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately, your dying voice is hot as fuck. I know. Burdened with.
I mean, Bonnie Tyler made an entire career out of it, to be fair. For those who don't know Bonnie Tyler, I Need a Hero, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
The sexy voice that appears only when I'm rotting. But that's okay. Have you just tried not having voice damage? Well, you know, I've thought about it, but I like to live life on hard mode at the end of the day. OMG, the rasp. Too bad she's in pain and dying. I love how raspy your voice is. Thanks. It hurts to talk. I'm saying, like, oh my god. But I do like to take advantage of it and not and make things worse by recording specific songs when my voice is like this. I learn. I'm like, wait, I could sing a song and make it sound a little raspier, but that usually means that I'm unable to replicate it when I want to sing it later because my voice was at a specific point.
So to your point, there was a question about wouldn't variety help? Crafting repetitive stress. Nope. So it's not like joints. It's not like tendons. Your vocal folds oscillate and come together in a handful of ways. And they come together and they just do this. They can be fatter, they could be thinner, but at the end of the day, the motion is kind of just like this, right? So it's the fact that they make contact with one another, and the force in which they do that matters a lot. Now, you can make it more efficient. You can make your use way more efficient. For example, right now, I have some tension in my middle back, and that's resulting in some chest tension. That over time will cause vocal fatigue. So I'm taking a moment right now to fix this. But I'm tired, so I will probably slouch and not be mindful of it in just a few minutes. So this is what I was going to do with Michi. Blitz, you're adorable. Get down. But yeah, it's not like any other part of the body. And by the way, the tinier the voice, the more at risk you are. So female voices are far more prone to vocal injury than male voices, though men are more likely to get cancer of the voice as well. So trade-offs.
Thanks for reading the autocorrect message correctly. You're welcome. Yes, you make the best out of a bad situation. Yes. But anyways, I slept at like 4 a.m. That was doo-doo. I hated that. I remember when weed was legalized in Cali, bro. You had to avoid LA.
Honey won't do anything. Resins won't do anything because they don't stay on the vocal folds. So they don't do anything. And also like the mucosa lining already does that. That's what it's there for. It's for protection. So the best thing you can do is actually just stay hydrated. But like something that makes you feel good has no relevance to the fact that your folds are slapping together, right? None of that stuff stays on the vocal folds. So it's like, it is actually ridiculously simple. You got two little small pieces of flesh, they hit each other. Hit each other less hard. And less often. I don't know what replaces the mucosal lining other than dairy, KD, so I couldn't speak to it.
Like the plague, if you during that time, if you didn't like the smell. The smell of weed is so nasty. I hate it. I hate the smell of weed. I hate the smell of cigarettes. It's so, I can't even be near cigarettes smokers. Like, if I went into a room and somebody lit a cigarette and started to smoke a cigarette, it triggers my asthma and then I can't breathe and then I almost die. So good. It stinks so bad.
Bonnie Tyler, you can have as thick a Welsh accent as you want, but no, that's vocal damage with Bonnie Tyler. That's not an accent. Hey, Drake.
Spent too much of my childhood near Santa Cruz. Never could avoid the sun even if I wanted to. Yeah, I used to go to Vegas a lot with my family as a kid because they had little kid playground areas where my dad could drop us off at, like a daycare, while he went and gambled a bit. And that was back in the day when we would stay at places where the roof was a lot lower. Nowadays, you go to the hotels in Vegas and they're super high rise. Super high ceilings. So you're not gonna react as much if somebody's smoking a cigarette. But back then, oh my God, I feel like I was getting hotboxed all the time as a child, just walking near all of the people smoking. Hoobla! 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 Oh my God. Recreational was first in Colorado and Washington, but medically it was first in California. Wow, that's so crazy. Quick word from our sponsor.
So would bubbles help Numi, or that's a different problem? So once you have it, you need rest. Because it doesn't change the fact using your voice more efficiently doesn't change the fact that you have damage. You should learn to use your voice more efficiently after you recover from the damage, if that's possible. Because sometimes it's not. Because you can get scar tissue from a vocal hemorrhage. You can't fix that. That's why it's very serious. And again, that's why I had this huge lecture on Baji singing Toad. You know? Because that puts you at risk. So, I'm not trying to scare people. It's just, it's if you're a professional who's live streaming constantly, who's singing constantly, you should learn to use your voice in the most efficient way possible, preemptively. Bubbles help with usage. Usage is important to learn. But bubbles is also, it solves a specific problem. It's not a catch-all. Right? So the reason why it worked with Daryl is Daryl's very specific vocal damage led to a difficulty with vocal closure. So, SVOT exercises, which is to say like on oo vowels or ideally a straw, especially a straw with bubbles, is going to teach you how to use your oral cavity and a couple of other things. Hodgepodge, the video I did with Hodgepodge on this channel goes into the very, very technical specifics of that. Yeah. So, and yeah, that's a good metaphor. That's a great metaphor. So this is the problem a lot with like lozenges and like things that people think help, right? So, yeah, if you get third-degree burns on your hands and you try clapping, you will get more damage. Just because you numb your hands with numbing cream doesn't mean that they're not damaged. Yeah. So giving people, semi-occluded vocal tract. Yeah. Yeah, so the semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, like with straws and stuff like that, they help with vocal closure. But, like, tension issues are a real big problem too, because, you know, if you have too much breath, there can be a lot of issues that happen on top of that. You know, so how you shape your oral cavity is great. Too much breath, and your vocal folds and your false folds and your oral cavity will all adapt and react to your breath. Right? I got some people here, so it's not just Blitz, but like the like the posture thing is a big deal. That goes into like what's called Alexander technique. Yeah, I might ask Diane. I might ask Diane if there's anybody in Indonesia that she knows that Michi might be able to work with, because that would help a lot. Yeah, but like all those inefficiencies add up when you're like someone like Michi and you're streaming for like 15 hours, and then you go track and sing, right? So like a little chest tension might not be a big deal, but after 15 hours, yeah, that'll mess you up. Like I'm being mindful of it right now. I'm trying to address my lower back and stuff like that. So yeah, when you use your voice all the time, puts you at risk, and a lot of these, yeah, I think that's why I'm trying to do what I do and make myself available. Yeah.
Quick word from our sponsor, me, myself, and I. We have a new Gamer Subs flavor out now called Kissy Kissy Passion that tastes just like me. What? A delicious passion fruit mango. So yum yum. Try for yourself today. Thanks.
Oh, happy anniversary, Numi!
Sorry, I just forgot to turn my anime mode on.
Oh,
Anyways, you just reminded me that today's the day.
the day? Friday?
Yes! Friday the 20th, the day my 5-year anniversary merch drop goes live.
Aw, shit!
Yes, sir. For a limited time, you can grab a special anniversary cup, a shirt, tech deck, and a skateboard.
Norway.
But wait, there's more. You also have a limited time to grab my favorite piece of merch, the work jacket. God, I love it so
Oh
much.
my god, I'll take 20.
No.
Why?
But you guys watching can. Grab yours now while they're still available.
Wait,
Yippee!
why can't I get one?
Because you fucking suck.
No, you suck.
You was
Girl, what's up? I got
Guys, are you a Noomba? Or do you like hot ladies, hot demon ladies? First of all, ladies nuts in your mouth. You can use code NUMI. It's code NUMI, right? Is it code NUMI? It has to be code NUMI. Why would it not be code NUMI? For 10% have. So you get some pre-order on the V cards because NUMI'S is in set 3 as well. You can try and get your hands on some NUMI V cards so that next time you go on a meet and greet, you can ask her to sign them. But also check out Kissy Kissy Passion. It is literally my favorite flavor in Gamer Subs. So if you like passion fruits, check out Kissy Kissy Passion. For your daily caffeinated drink, and if you don't like caffeine, there's a caffeine-free version too. It's sugar-free. It has daily nutrition in there too, so you should check that out.